Hey there, Adam Weisbart here from the Agile Virtual Summit, and I want to spend just 2 minutes with you talking about the number one thing you can do as a Scrum Master, Agile coach, or even just good Agilist that fear might be keeping you from doing right now. So I've had this blog post that I've been meaning to write for quite a while now, but I've been super busy since the Agile Virtual Summit. By the way, thank you for coming to that. And so I thought that I would just record a video here on my walk. Got my daily quarantine around the block walk, and I thought you could join me for it because, well, I got a moment. So I was watching this documentary. The documentary is called Shangri-La, and it is by Rick Rubin. Or it's about Rick Rubin, and it's produced by him. Rick Rubin is a producer that you might not know by name, but you've definitely heard his work. He's worked with the likes of Jay-Z, the Beastie Boys, Adele, and like a billion other people. You have heard his work across many different genres. The guy is phenomenal. And this documentary is amazingly good because it is a great picture of an amazing coach. He's phenomenal. Now, I was telling Dan, who you might remember from the Agile Virtual Summit, he's on my team, and I was telling him about this documentary, and he was like, oh yeah, but have you heard the bad things about Rick Rubin? I said, oh no, what are the bad things about Rick Rubin? I loved this thing. I don't want to think poorly of him. And he said, yeah, a lot of people think he's just sort of getting by on his name now, that he's not, he's sort of taking credit for work other people are doing, like his talent. I said, well, tell me more about that. And he said, well, people seem to think that he only shows up for little moments and then he leaves and he's not around very much. And he actually mentions this in the documentary. So I found this really interesting because it relates back to the work that you and I do. Rick Rubin originally, when he first started working, found that he was in the studio all the time. He didn't see the light of day for like years because he was always in the studio with his talent. And after some time, he realized that this was kind of foolish because there were only certain interventions that he actually needed to be there for. A bunch of the other time, he was just wasting time hanging out on a couch while a drummer was drumming or a singer was singing or whatnot. And so he identified where these particular interventions were, and then he just showed up for them. To the outside world, though, here's the problem. It seems like he's not doing anything most of the time. And the trick to being a good coach and a good Agilist and a good Scrum Master, a good team member, is to not take up all the space. You need to be quiet a bunch of the time so that your team can figure out the right direction forward. Getting rained on here. Got to find the right way forward. And by you taking up that space, they can't talk. Now, the trouble is, if you don't manage what might come up for you in this process, feelings of insecurity, feelings of, oh my gosh, my boss will judge me, not thinking I'm doing a good job, and during this crazy time of COVID, I'm going to be out of a job. If you don't have a way of dealing with that for yourself, you don't stand much of a chance of helping your team become high performing. They won't become high performing because you will always be filling the spot that it is best not to talk in. Rick Rubin doesn't care what you think of him. He doesn't care what his talent thinks of him. What he cares about is getting the best results out of his clients, the people he works with, his team. And you need to be able to do the same. Some of the best times I have ever worked with coaching clients, with teams that I've been working with, is when I've raised an eyebrow at the perfect time, or I've not said a thing, but glanced over to the person that I know has the right thing to say. And I give them space to say that thing in front of everybody else. I've only been able to do that because I've been able to manage my concern of not looking great in that moment. If you would like more ways of finding out how to do that, maybe you have some already, but you would like more so that you could just raise an eyebrow during a meeting and have the magical thing happen right then. If you would like to figure out more ways to help your team and organization be successful by you appearing to do less, but still looking like a rock star or at least a amazing rock producer, say I'm interested down in the comments, because soon I'll be announcing something that will help you to that end, and I would love to have you involved. I'm going to open up initially to the Agile Virtual Summit folks just like you. But if it sounds interesting to you, and let me know by making a comment down there in the comments saying I'm interested. Until we chat again, stay agile, never change.